Alright, what's going on, guys? Your boy TG, welcome back to another video. So today, I'm just gonna go over with you guys top 10 things that I'm looking forward to in this 2023-2024 NHL season. That's right, guys. Preseason's on the way. Regular season starts in about another 2 weeks. So I'm just gonna go down the list, tell you guys my top 10 things that I'm looking forward to this season. So we'll start at number 10, and this list is from least to greatest. So at number 10, we'll start. I want to see how the Vegas Golden Knights will do in this 2023-2024 NHL season. Fresh off a Stanley Cup. It's very rare for a team to go back to back. The last team that's done that was the Tampa Bay Lightning when they won the Stanley Cup in 2020 and in 2021. Another team that did that recently was the Pittsburgh Penguins back in 2016 and 2017, and then before that you got the 1997-1998 Detroit Red Wings. So yeah, it's pretty rare to see a team go back to back. And I do have the Avalanche win the Stanley Cup in 2024. I just really don't see the Golden Knights going back to back here. But it could happen. It could not. Who knows? It's very rare to see. But I just want to see how they do throughout this 2023-2024 NHL season, since they're fresh off a Stanley Cup. They did trade Riley Smith during the offseason, so he is no longer on the Golden Knights. He's on the Pittsburgh Penguins now, so it'll be cool to see Riley Smith play against his former team whenever the Golden Knights take on the Penguins. So, yeah. So that's the number 10. Number 9, I want to see how the new captains will do. So during the off season, we did get some new captains for new teams. Some teams are still without a captain, but we got Brad Marchand to be captain of the Boston Bruins. I would have went with David Pastrnak to be the captain of the Bruins based on his performance from last season, and just because he's a all-around great player. But Brad Marchand, he's a veteran. He's been on the team for long. He's won a Stanley Cup. So it makes sense for the Bruins to make him as team captain. So I want to see how many points will Brad Marchand put up in his first season as captain of the Boston Bruins. I know he's learned much from Zdeno Chara and Patrice Bergeron because they were team captains before he was. So he's learned. I'm pretty sure he's learned much from both of them, both which are retired. So both Zdeno Chara and Patrice Bergeron don't play in the NHL no more. Unfortunately, just the end of an era. It is what it is. But anyway, I want to see how Brad Marchand does in his first season as captain for the Bruins and how many points will he put up. Vancouver Canucks, they got Quinn Hughes as captain, and I would have went with him or Elias Pettersson to be captain, but I mostly would have went with Quinn Hughes just because I feel like he's a better player than Elias Pettersson. Not to get me wrong, I know some of you guys might disagree with that, but that's just my opinion. I feel like he's just a better player than Elias Pettersson. I know he's going to step up for the team when the team needs him the most. I do like Quinn Hughes. He's a great defenseman to watch for the Vancouver Canucks. I love watching his brother, Jack Hughes, and Luke Hughes, I think this will be his first official season. I think he debuted it in the playoffs last year when the Rangers went up. Not the Rangers, the Devils went up against the Rangers and then went up against the Hurricanes before being eliminated by the Hurricanes. So I love watching all three of the Hughes brothers. Luke Hughes coming out of University of Michigan. I think Quinn Hughes played at University of Michigan too. So it will be fun to see these guys. It will be fun to see Quinn Hughes, how many points will he put up at the end of the season as captain, and it will be awesome to see how Luke Hughes does in his first official season with the New Jersey Devils. It was kind of like same situation as Cale Makar, because I think he first debuted in the playoffs in 2019 against Calgary, and then I think somewhere around 2020 or 2021 he made his first official NHL season. So it's something like that, guys. And then St. Louis Blues, they got Braden Shen as team captain. Alex Pietrangelo, of course, he's on the Vegas Golden Knights, so he's no longer the captain. The Blues got Braden Shen as team captain. But I do like Brad Marchand's choice as team captain the most because he's a veteran type player. He's won a Stanley Cup. And I would like to watch him the most to see how he does as team captain for the Bruins. But going back to the Blues, Braden Shen, I mean, that was a tough choice to make if I was going to see who could be team captain of the Blues because Ryan O'Reilly's not on the team no more. He's on the Predators. Vladimir Tarasenko is not on the Blues anymore. He's currently an unrestricted free agent. So, yeah, that would have been a tough choice for me. But just see how Braden Shen does as team captain of the Blues this season. So, yeah. And number 8, how will the Bruins do this season? So fresh off a terrific, historic last season to going into the playoffs and losing to the Panthers in 7. I know that was not the way the Bruins fans wanted the season to end. That was not the way the Bruins wanted to end, by just a heartbreaking loss to the Panthers in the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to see how the Bruins will do this season. If they do make the playoffs, which I believe they will, it will have to be as a wild card team. I mean, this isn't going to be the same Bruins that we saw last year with just a dominating record. It's not going to be the same Bruins. I mean, Bergeron's retired, Krejci's retired, whole new Bruins team right now. So if the Bruins do make it, which, like I said, they will, it will have to be as a wild card team. I don't see them finishing in the top 3 in the Atlantic Division. I just don't. But just see how this season turns out. And speaking of the Atlantic Division and the Panthers, I'm looking forward to see how the Panthers will do because they had like a Cinderella type run in the playoffs. And they made it to the playoffs. They clinched the playoffs as a wild card team, I believe. So it was tough for the Panthers. I mean, I thought we weren't going to see them in the playoffs. All the hockey fans thought that too. And the Panthers did clinch as a wild card team, I believe, last year. And I just like the run that they had in the playoffs. Matthew Tkachuk, in my opinion, really carried the team. Scoring game-winning goals and just having a 100-plus point season last year. I feel like he's carried the team for the Florida Panthers. They had a good run, unfortunately, ended short to the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Final. A 9-3 loss for the Panthers. So just looking to see how they do in the regular season, see how this season turns out. Will they make the playoffs? Which I believe the Panthers will make the playoffs this year. I mean, they had a Cinderella type run last year. I did like how they performed last season. I feel like they could bring that same energy back this season. So Panthers, I'm taking the Panthers to make the playoffs. Number 6, how many goals will Ovi put up this year? So, man, I don't know how many goals he has in his career right now, but I know it's above 800 because he just scored he passed Gordie Howe for most goals of all time. So now he's in second place of most goals of all time. I'm predicting that he'll have a 40-goal season. 40-goal season for Ovi. I would say 50 or 60-goal season, but Alex Ovechkin, he's getting old. This is not the prime Ovi that we saw years ago. Basically, during my childhood, this is not the same Ovi that we saw few years ago. So you guys know what I mean. So I'm predicting a 40-goal season for Ovi. I feel like it makes sense because, like I said, he's getting old. He's still a goal scorer in my opinion, but I just feel like we probably won't see a 50 or 60-goal season like we have seen before from Ovi. So 40-goal season, to say the least. I feel like that makes sense. So Yeah. Number 5, I want to see how the Buffalo Sabres do this year. I'm going to be watching the team. Some people said I've been doubting the Buffalo Sabres. Well, that's all going to change. Don't worry, guys. I won't doubt them no more. Actually do like their team. They have a great young team. So I actually do like this. I actually do like the team. They have great young players. Dylan Cousins, Owen Power, Peyton Krebs. Let's see. Dylan Cousins, Owen Power, Peyton Krebs. Just so many young players to name. Jack Quinn, another young player. They even got Devin Levi in that. And I feel like the kid will just bring it all this season. We could actually... I don't want to go too far. But is this the year that we see the Sabres make the playoffs? Half of me says yes. Half of me says no. So I'm basically in the middle, guys. I'm basically in the middle. I mean, part of me says yes. Part of me says no. So it's like 50-50. We could see the Sabres in the playoffs this year. We could get a possibility of that. If that happens, we could see them in the playoffs this year. I don't know when was the last time the Sabres did make the playoffs. I mean, all I know is that they have that long year drought of missing the playoffs. That's all I know. I don't remember the last time we've seen the Sabres in the playoffs, but this year could be their year. Maybe it could be the Sabres' year. Don't know. We just have to see. Number 4, how many points will Connor Bedard put up this year? So, of course, Connor Bedard is on my Chicago Blackhawks. He's got the debut game October the 10th on opening night. I want to see how many points will he put up in his first year with the Blackhawks. I feel like that's going to be the main thing that everybody's looking forward to, watching the season. Like, how would he do in his first year with the Blackhawks? Just have to find out and see. Number 3, 2024 NHL Winter Classic. And this is in my top 5 because, well, it's in my top 10, but it's also in my top 5 because Vegas Golden Knights taking on Seattle Kraken, 2 recently new added teams. Golden Knights came in the league 6 years ago. They started in 2017. Kraken came in the league in 2021. So can't wait to see these 2 teams go at it in the 2024 NHL Winter Classic. Of course, that's on New Year's Day. Can't wait for it. That's one thing I'm looking forward to this season. Number 2, this is basically what I was talking about before. How will the Blackhawks do in Bedard's first year? I feel like that's going to be the one thing that I will be focused on. And some of you guys may be thinking about that. Like, how will the Hawks do in Bedard's first year with the team? That's going to be the one thing I would say that I'm interested in seeing. How will they do in Bedard's first year? And I feel like Connor Bedard will play on that first line with Taylor Hall. So and possibly Nick Foligno. I feel like Taylor Hall, he's a veteran and he's been drafted first overall before, I think, by the Edmonton Oilers, if I'm not mistaken. So Connor Bedard will learn from him. I feel like that line is going to be dangerous to see with Connor Bedard playing with Taylor Hall on that first line. I feel like there's going to be something to watch. He could take home. Well, I don't want to say he could. He is going to take home the Calder at the end of the season. I have him winning the Calder at the end of the season. He's going to have a terrific season for sure with the Blackhawks. Can't wait to be watching this kid out on the ice at the United Center. It's going to be amazing to see. And number 1, the debut game. Connor Bedard versus Sidney Crosby. Connor Bedard playing against his childhood hockey player growing up, Sidney Crosby. So that's going to be the number 1 thing I'm looking forward to seeing this season. Conor Bedard versus Sidney Crosby, the debut game. Everybody's going to have their eyes on that. I mean, I know there's two other games on opening night. Predators taking on the Lightning, and of course the Kraken taking on the Golden Knights, which the Golden Knights were raised to Stanley Cup banner. But I feel like the one that everybody's going to be interested in seeing, Conor Bedard versus Sidney Crosby, the debut game of Conor Bedard. This kid's been talked about for a while now. He's drafted first overall to the Blackhawks, played for the Regina Pats. He was also on Team Canada. He's won 2 gold medals with Team Canada, I believe. And now he's in the NHL playing for the Chicago Blackhawks. So he also had a heck of a WHL season with the Regina Pats. I think he had a 150-plus point season, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe it was a 150-plus point season with the Regina Pats before he got drafted by the Blackhawks. So, as you can tell by my list, most of it is just talking about the Blackhawks and Conor Bedard. One thing, you guys know I'm a fan of the Blackhawks. I mean, that's my favorite team. Yes, I am wearing blue, but I'm not a Blues fan, guys. I'm a Blackhawks fan. So you guys know I'm a fan of the Blackhawks. So that's just basically most of my list right there. Just, seeing how the Blackhawks will do this season with Conor Bedard and how many points will Conor Bedard put up. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have anything that you look forward to watching this NHL season, put it down in the comments. I'd like to see what things are you excited to see this season. I mean, regular season starts on October 10th. Can't wait for it. That's going to do it for this video, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, hit it with a like. Hit it with the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time.